other monetize Facebook videos.
Here's what the studio I film in looks like. To me, this is what you might want to aim for if you want a top-level streaming setup. And ultimately, if you want to make full-time income from streaming a month, it comes down to acting like you already do make full-time income a month. This is a full-time income a month streaming setup. I'll show you each part of this here. On the left side, I have 3 computers in the studio. I have a Windows PC that does these top 2 monitors. I have an iMac that does this lower left monitor and the iMac monitor itself off to the left on the shelf. Then this monitor is capable of doing either the Mac Pro or the PlayStation or the Xbox, whatever setting I put it on. Then the camera right here in the middle, that is what's actually filming me right now. Then on the lower right, I have my streaming, whatever streaming setup I'm using. Currently, on this one, I am filming this course with Wirecast, but usually OBS sits over there. Then you can see on the bottom, I've got 2 different keyboards. I've got the Windows keyboard, which is great for Googling things if I need to look something up real quick or sharing a link in my chat. Then on this bottom section, I've got this keyboard here is for the Mac Pro if I need to modify anything on a live stream. This Elgato Stream Deck is really cool to just quickly switch around the stream. However, for example, I'll do this in Wirecast. I can move my face higher. I can move my face around like that. On the live stream in OBS, then I can do things like mute the mic easily, mute the game audio, which is really helpful. If you hear a copyrighted song pop in, you can just real easy kill the audio on the game with one click on that Elgato Stream Deck and possibly avoid a copyright problem. I've got my record, my stream buttons, my follower thing on there, and then I've got cool arrows set up to just move my face wherever I want it on the game. I've then got both of the mice over here for the Windows and for the Mac Pro. Then I make it even more fun and bring the iMac one in. I use 3 computers because the Windows machine sometimes was crashing with a live stream on it. So I put the stream up on the iMac and I actually do the Facebook, put all the information in on the iMac. Then all the Windows machine needs to do is run the comments on it and keep the stream up in the background, which helps it to perform good. And then all the Mac Pro needs to do is stream. Then I can game on the middle computer without any problems. You can see my mic is just out of shot then on the left, and the camera comes through this perfect little hole right here. I can see my face on it, and I've got the camera coming right through the monitors so that you notice if I put this full, you can see the monitors are not at the top or the bottom of the shot. You can see the camera just barely gets right through both of the monitors on the shot to give it a really nice professional quality look to it. It automatically focuses. If I move around, you can see I can move around. I can dance around a little bit. I can go on and off camera. The camera immediately jumps back on and focuses. This is what you get with a professional quality camera. I used a webcam for years, filmed thousands of videos with just a webcam that was under $100. I highly recommend, if you can, invest in the good equipment right away. The cheap equipment has so many problems. If you add up the time you spend fooling around with all those little problems, it really adds up. For example, the hours and hours and hours I tried to optimize the picture quality on my webcam. Hey, it turns out all I need to do is just buy a better camera and then pay attention to what shirt I put on, and I don't have to do anything else. It's really nice. So this is my live streaming setup. This has taken me years of just trial and error to get right. I've also got some foam, some styrofoam back here to absorb my voice. On the ceiling, I've got some foam pads. The home office shed I'm filming in has extra drywall on it, and then it's got little cement or concrete sheets on the outside to minimize the noise coming in and out, to give me the ability to film in the backyard without bothering my family in the house, plus the ability for me to not bother or be bothered by the neighbors while I'm out here. This is really helpful. I've got paper lanterns up, as you can see, the 2 paper lanterns hanging in there. I've got paper lanterns from every different angle, because if you want your face to be lit well, you need it to be lit from all different angles. Each different computer monitor helps keep a little bit of lighting on my face also. And the way I've got it set up now, it's kind of consistent soft lighting straight on my face. That way I don't look so tired. Now, the shirt I put on with the chroma key in the background makes a big difference. I like with wirecast, I can very easily take the chroma key off. This is what my background actually looks like behind me. I have literally a green painted wall. The whole shed's painted green. And then I've got 3 lights on the ground, keeping a nice even light on the back. So that way the chroma key has the same color green to take out, and then the chroma key doesn't look all glitchy behind me. So that's what it actually looks like behind me. And I think that makes the best appearance. You want to have a nice chroma key so that you can move your face around and have flexibility, instead of having to take up more room by not having a chroma key. If I didn't have a chroma key, my face would take up a lot more room. There's a lot less flexibility as to where I can move my face. And it's nice if something really exciting happens, I can hit the big center button to make my face a little bigger for a minute, and then put it back down wherever it needs to be when it's time for the action. I also can do music production in this setup. I used to have my music keyboards all set up right here, and since I've focused on gaming now, I just have the one over here. Plus underneath, if you can see a little bit underneath, I've also got the M Audio Code 61 underneath here as well that I can do for music production. Now, all of these have different cables. This stuff so complicated. So many things. Oh, you can see the foam pads up here. You can see 2 of the old webcams I had up here. You can see how I've got the lights evenly balanced. So I've got a light in the middle, a light to the right, a light to the left. I've got reveal light bulbs in these. The paper lanterns then make the light soft. It's a nice... You don't need to spend a bunch of money on the lighting. You can do the lighting really cheap and get decent lighting. I've then got my router over here on the right. Everything is hardwired into the router. My live streaming computer, the PlayStation, the Xbox, my iMac, the Windows computer, even my home Wi-Fi with Google Wi-Fi. It's all hardwired into the router. When you're streaming, please do not do anything at all on Wi-Fi. You don't want your gaming system to be on Wi-Fi. You do not want your streaming system or computer to be on Wi-Fi. Please hardwire every single thing in for the best experience, because having a lower quality frames with dropping frames from having Wi-Fi, that can lead to a less positive user experience as the stream buffers. I know that's really annoying for me as a viewer when I'm trying to watch and the person's on Wi-Fi and the wind blows or whatever it is and it drops for a second. Please hardwire everything in. And in order to do that, ideally you want to get your router right next to all of the equipment you've got. And yes, I've got a ton of equipment here, as you can see. And I'm very grateful for all that you've done to help me have this streaming studio set up. You can actually set all of this up for a much lower cost than investing in a college education or starting almost any kind of business. And I highly recommend, if you want a professional stream, if you want to earn money like a professional streamer, set your stream up like a professional. People can tell the difference right when you go on a stream. I can tell in just a second or two if I'm watching someone stream who's established, or if I'm watching someone who's brand new or doesn't know what they're doing or is hustling and starting out and not really doing that well, because you can see right away in the camera, you can see right away in the green screen quality, you can see right away in the ability to respond to comments. having the ability to keep interacting on the stream while not having to look way off screen. Now, if I'm trying to respond to your comment and I'm looking over here, oh, thank you very much for those stars. And look, that wasn't even here. Let me do it like this. If I'm looking over here to try and respond to your comment, how does that make you feel? Versus you get to see my reaction right on camera. Oh my God, you just dropped stars. Thank you so much. Whereas if I have to look over to the other side, oh my God, you just dropped stars. That was so good. Oh, thanks a lot for that. And then you die in the game because you're looking way off screen. These two wall-mounted monitors up above really help. And I used to use one monitor, but two is even better than one because you'll notice the right side of my monitor is totally dedicated to comments. The left side is totally dedicated to shares and stars and then whatever else comes up that way, because it's very easy for me to see what the newest comment is. And then sometimes when the shares get going really fast, I can easily, if I miss one, I can easily look back. I can even use this mouse down here to scroll back in the shares to make sure I didn't miss someone, because it's annoying when you watch a stream and you share and you don't even get a reaction at all. The person doesn't even take the time to say thank you. Same thing with a comment. You post a comment, the guy just keeps gaming and dies, has time to look at a comment, doesn't say anything. These little things make a big difference. Having an amazing stream is simply the sum of putting a lot of little details together. And that's what I'm showing you how to do here, how to put all these details together. You'll notice below the microphone, I have my capture cards down here. I've got two capture cards. One capture card coming out of the HDMI monitor in the middle. Then I've got another HDMI capture card coming out of the camera. It's the same Majuel capture card that I've got on my resources page at jerrybanfield.com/resources. I've got two of these hooked straight into the Mac Pro over here. You can also hook those in if you've got a PC. You can hook those in via USB. You've got, then what else do I've got the microphone hooked in to the audio interface, which is over on the shelf, and that comes back into the Mac Pro over here. All the connections go over to the router. I've got the Windows machine set up on two HDMIs. I've got HDMI on the PlayStation and the Xbox into the main monitor. Then I have a Thunderbolt into a DVI, which is actually what you're looking at right now. This is a Thunderbolt into a DVI into this monitor so that I don't have to use, I used to use this little thing to try and split up the, if you need to put three HDMIs into one monitor, then I'm paranoid now about any little bit of lag between the source and the monitor. So I've got the Mac Pro in with a DVI into this BenQ monitor, and I've got the Xbox and a PlayStation in with HDMI. I've got then the Thunderbolt into a display port into this one on the right, and I've also got a Thunderbolt into a display port on this one on the left. Yes, I've got all this set up so it works perfectly with all the graphics. My God, you know how long this has taken to get this set up. So many hours and hours. The nice thing is, if a hurricane wiped out my studio, I could rebuild this relatively quickly because I've went through the most difficult parts of it. So this is a God level streaming setup right here. Thank you for helping me have this. I hope showing you how all of this works is helpful for you to see today exactly how to do this yourself, because man, I looked and looked and looked and couldn't find one of these that really covered everything. So I hope this really covers everything for you.
How to monetize Facebook videos, video 7.